Hey guys, I'm back with kind of a sneak preview video, and this one's going to be talking all about some stuff I've been working on, which is surround sound feedback for Pinball FX3 and for Future Pinball. This is going to be working through DOFLinx and Pinup Player, whereas DOFLinx, which is what we use for any kind of feedback on Pinball FX3 or Future Pinball, DOFLinx would be doing basically the triggering of all the actions, and Pinup Player will react to those triggers and play sounds where we want them. That's a simple breakdown of it. So if you don't know what surround sound feedback is for a pinball cabinet, it's basically, imagine this is your pinball cabinet. Well, we have our normal audio speakers and subwoofer. What we're going to be doing is you're going to be putting 4 tactile exciters, and what those in the 4 corners of your playfield underneath inside your cabinet. And basically what those are is they're kind of like a transducer or a shaker speaker, for a better word. It does play audio, but it gives vibrational feedback as well, and by having 4 of them in all 4 corners of your cabinet underneath your playfield, you're able to basically play 3D positional audio in any position in this area here. So if you look over while you're playing a game, imagine you have one of those exciters in each of these corners. So while you're playing, any device that's on here that plays a mechanical sound, we can choose exactly where that sound's going to play back, and then you'll hear it underneath your playfield TV screen. It's very cool. It's something that solenoids do a great job of, because that's what real pinball cabinets use, but they can't recreate other kind of sound effects, like a ball going on a rail guide, or a ball going up and around a ramp, or say maybe like a drain, or inserting a coin through the coin mechanism, all sorts of, or just the ball rolling in general, or certain kind of chutes and other things like that. There's lots of things that you can't do through solenoid. So this is really cool for that kind of stuff. And you can also combine this with solenoids if you want. They both work great together. But the idea here is that we're going to be playing the audio for all of those only through, ideally you should have a 7.1 sound card on the computer you're using, and you're only going to be playing these 4 sound channels for these guys here through our rear and surround channels of a 7.1 setup. And your front speakers would just be your normal audio in your cabinet. So luckily, most programs seem to work well with that kind of configuration for pinball. So the idea here is that Visual Pinball already has this integrated really, really nicely. If you've ever listened to anything, any of the SSF that's been done by DJ Rob X or Rusty, or those guys have done an awesome job kind of getting this established and getting this as part of a now standard feature in Visual Pinball. Well, now we can do this with Pinball FX3 and Future Pinball. Not quite as nice because we're not using full scripting capabilities, but we can still trigger the same idea. So if I want to trigger these flippers, then they will play, the sounds will play approximately right here. Same with the slingshots. The sounds would play right around here. These bumpers, they would play right around here. If I had a sound for this ramp, then I would hear it right around here. And it's very cool. It's one of those things that I can't demonstrate in this video very well, but if you've played it, and if it's set up really well, it's great. Now, I personally would still rather have solenoids for my flippers and all that, but for all the other stuff, it is really, really cool. So I'm basically going to show you how this works and how you guys are going to basically just set it up for FX3. Very simple. It's coming soon. I'm waiting for a new DOFLinx version to get released. And you'll basically update DOFLinx, and if you've got Pinup system installed, then it'll be easy to set up. So basically, actually, I'm just going to run FX3, and I'll show you, how this works by default, what you have to do to set this up. Very, very simple to get this up and running. So we're assuming you have the newest DOFLinx, DOF R3++ setup installed, because you need that for DOFLinx now, and you have the newest DOFLinx installed and working. So we assume that's already done and ready. So if you want to play your game, so we'll just I'll do Jurassic World
Pinball.
All right, so
went and made.
So when you're playing, you'll this is just a normal game on desktop. It's easier for me to demonstrate on desktop. I can't really do it in my cab. So these are your normal sounds, right? Well, in your cabinet, you won't hear those in your rear channels or positionally set up correctly. They'll all come out of your back box. Every single sound in the game comes out of the back box, and it really kind of breaks the 3D immersion, especially if you have solenoids and other things going on. But if you don't have any solenoids, then you know, yeah, it just isn't the same having every single sound come out of your back box speakers. It's just not the same. So
knock it off.
So you can hear all the noises.
Go!
So this is the way the game normally is.
I don't want to wait anymore.
Yeah, look. Today turned out to be a really bad day for me.
What you need to do then is, I just wanted to show how that normally is with the regular sound. You have all these to adjust. So what we're going to do is we're going to turn off, well, I'm going to turn the music down just to make it easier to demonstrate on the video and the voice as well. So what we need to do is we need to disable the physics volume. The physics volume is all the mechanical sounds for like your bumpers, flippers, you know, all that kind of stuff basically. We're turning that off in the game because we're going to be replacing that with our own sounds through surround sound feedback and Pinup Player and DOFLinx. So now you don't hear any of that stuff. It's all turned off, and the normal game will sound normal when I turn the music and everything else back on. But as you can see, so there you go. So now you know for sure that the game is still running, but we have our physics turned off. So that's the first thing you need to do. So then after that's done, you're going to download a whole bunch of, well, before we talk about that, in DOFLinx, assuming you have the newest version, there should be a folder, something named like this: Pinball FX3, Pinup Player, Surround Sound Feedback. So these are basically just the normal config files for all the tables in DOFLinx, but they're updated to include the Pinup Player, Surround Sound Feedback commands. So we just kept them separate, you know, just that way, because if people don't need to use them, then there's no point in them having it. So you can either copy all those files into your FX3 folder that has the normal config files, or you can just change your DOFLinx INI to point to this folder. Either one will work. So once that's set up and you're good to go, then after that, we're going to copy over our PuP-Packs. So you'll download the PuP-Packs. I should have them on vPinball. And there's going to be a PuP-Pack file that's going to have all of them that are available so far. Because most of the tables are done, but DOFLinx doesn't do unique triggers for every single table yet. So you're going to get a set of PuP-Packs for all the default table sound effects. That's going to be your flippers, bumpers, slings, drain, launch, nudge, ball release. I think that's all of them. Those are all going to work on every table no matter what. So you're going to download these, and that's all these PuP-Packs are going to be supporting is just the default stuff. So you can see it's just a small PuP-Pack with just the sounds for everything that we're going to be using for surround sound feedback. So basically, you're just going to copy all these PuP-Packs into your folder where all your PuP-Packs go. So it'd be your Pinup System PUP videos, and you'll copy them all in here. Now, I already have them all copied over, as you can see here. I got a whole mess of them, right? So once those are copied over, now you should be set up to go, assuming you got Pinup Player running normally and everything's good to go. What it's going to do is it's going to make use of your music screen for surround sound feedback. So basically, all you need to do is make sure you have DOFLinx running in the background, which if you have it set up already, then that's normal. I'm just showing you here. I turned on debugging. That's why you can see this window. So DOFLinx will be running in the background. Good to go. You've copied everything over. You set everything up. So then all you got to do is run FX3. Now, you can do it actually from a front end or not in the front end for surround sound feedback, because DOFLinx will trigger all the stuff in FX3 automatically. It doesn't need anything special for that. It's only for the PuP-Packs with videos like the Aliens one I did that you need to do that a little differently. So So now we're just going to go into the same game. And remember, our flippers and all that were turned off, right? So we can't get the original sounds playing because we turned those off. So now we're going to get our Pinup Player surround sound feedback sounds playing. So there you go. And those aren't the actual original sounds. They sound different. I actually got those from Future Pinball. But you can use whatever sounds you want. All that is configured and set up in the PuP-Pack for each table. No problem. So you can see now. So now you can hear the sounds. And while it doesn't come across in this video, they are positioned in 3D space. And you can hear the slings going. And there you go. You got the bumpers going. So, and we have our drain going. So that's the basics working right there. You know, all the main stuff working. That'll work for every single table. And as we'll nudge. And you can hear. That's different for each one as well. So, as you can see, we've got our basic surround sound feedback. So if you're playing that in a cab, you're going to hear all those sounds positioned throughout underneath your playfield. Now, by default, they're all going to be the same. But you can go into your PuP-Pack editor, and I've already loaded it up here. You can go into the PuP-Pack editor, choose your table, your table's SSF PuP-Pack, load it up, and then you can change whatever you want in here. So you can see these are all the standard ones: the flippers, the slings, the bumpers, drain, ball in, nudge. They're all set up here, and these are the sound files that are being used. If you want to use something different, then all you got to do is copy. I'll go down here. You just go into your PUP sounds and copy the WAV file. It has to be a WAV file into here, and then you can load it into here and use that sound. All right. So now this is the big part here, because this is what actually tells it the 3D position for the sound. So you can. This is the manual way of doing it. So the best way to describe it is there's three numbers here. The first one is your X position. So that will be. Let's see here. Maybe I can bring this over here. Yeah. Well, get back there. So no, we don't want that. What happened there? Hold on a second. There we go. All right. So the idea here is that you're going to have your three numbers. You're going to have your X, Z, and Y. Well, we only care about the X and Y. So this first number is going to be your X value. The middle one you never touch. Just leave it at 1. And this last one is going to be your Y value. Now, the way it works in scaling is X and Y has a 0 for center, and then minus 10 all the way to the left, or plus 10 all the way to the right. Now for Y, it's different. Y actually has 0 up here, and then it goes down to minus 5 for center, and then minus 10. Now the reason why it has to be that way is because of the way the speakers are working. If we don't do it that way, from center up will be your positive values. That's actually going to bleed into your front speakers, which we don't want because we're not using those for surround sound feedback. We're using those for your normal back box audio. So that's basically all you have to do is you have to figure out what device you want. So for like the bumpers, for example, you would figure out which one of these it is, and then you would just look at the position. You can eyeball it if you want, and then figure out, okay, so this is 0, so let's say minus 8 or minus 9 for this bumper, and it's going to be 0. So you would enter minus 9, 1, 0. If you wanted to have, for example, your slingshot, then this would be, I don't know, maybe minus 6 or 7 for Y, and minus about, I don't know, maybe 5 or 6 for your sling. And if we look at the sling, actually, let's take a look at that. We'll take a look at that right now. So this is going to be the sling, this one here. So let's take a look. So yeah, you can see the sling was minus 4, 1, minus 7. So -4, and then -7 to right around there. So that makes sense. So you can eyeball it. You know, it's not hard. You figure it out pretty quickly, and then you can do that on every single table. You'll do that for wherever you want your bumpers are going to be the ones that are going to be changing. Now this is just for the default one. So when you're done changing everything you want to change, then you would hit Save PuP-Pack. However, this is only the default one, so we're not going to bother doing that on the default PuP-Pack. What we're going to do is we're going to copy over. Well, okay, that's if you guys are happy with the default ones, you never have to change anything, right? Well, what I also have is PuP-Packs made with all available DOFLinx triggers included. Every single one. Now, they may or may not be useful. It depends on the table. They're all going to be different. So what you'll do is you'll download a whole different set of PuP-Packs. You won't copy them all over. You're only going to copy over ones that you want to update and complete with all the triggers and 3D positions specific to that table and all the sounds used for that. Now, there's like almost 60 tables. I am not going to do all those tables, guys. So that's the whole point here, is that the community can help out with this to get a lot of these just customized per table. So what you'll do is you'll copy from the all triggers PuP-Packs, and you'll copy those over into here. And that way you'll have all the sound, all the triggers and all the sounds. So if you look here, now I've loaded this up, right? We've got all of our defaults, but now we have all these other triggers now. These are all additional triggers that are used throughout the table. Some may not be good to use. Some will. That's basically what you guys are going to have to figure out. And I've had them set up so that they're all associated with number sound file. So it's going to say a certain number when you play the game. And that's what we're going to demonstrate. And by default, I have them set up so that they're positioned at the top center. So that way you guys can figure out where they're coming from. You'll play the game, listen for the sound. You'll hear the number come from a very specific location while it's playing. And then you'll be like, okay, you'll come back here. You'll then replace this with whatever sound is appropriate for the action that you're hearing, and then you'll just change the 3D position to where you saw it on the game. So while I'm playing, if I hear a sound coming from, say, up here, like say if it says 5 or something, then I'll know, okay, that's going to be that rail. So then I'll go back here, I'll look for the one that's using 5, and then I'll replace that with the appropriate sound, and then I'll figure out where on here the 3D position is, and I'll just change it on here. Once I've done that for every one of these, or just whatever number you can, I save it. Now, you can disable any of these if you find that they're not good to use, because there may be some that are not mechanical feedback related. They may be lights or something like that, right? So you'll just go through, you'll play the game, listen for the numbers, and then you'll replace the numbers with the sound you want, and you'll replace the 3D position here with where they are on the play field. And that's basically all you're going to do per table. It's up to you guys if you want to do that, if you want all the extra stuff. So now I'm going to run FX3 again. So it's up to you guys. You can just copy over the default ones and be happy with the basics for every table. Or you can copy over one table and edit it the way you like with all the extra stuff, and you'll benefit from that. So that's totally up to you guys. And okay, I gotta find it again. So I did the Jurassic Park one, so we'll go with that. Alright, so now what's going to happen is while we play, you're going to get the normal default surround sound feedback sounds, but now you're going to hear numbers being spoken at certain locations in the table, and those are the triggers that are being fired off, and that's a way you can see where they're coming from and figure out the 3D position of where you want to change that setting at. So I'm just going to play. And then just listen for the numbers.
3.
So there you go.
8, 5, 11, 3.
And there you go. So
3.
A lot of those are coming from
11.
from orbits
3.
or ramps or other locations.
8.
And that's
8. 5.
there you go. And it's that simple, guys. So you just play the game, you take note of where those numbers are coming from, and then you go back. You go back here, and then you look for the number. Oh, you know, you heard 5 and you heard 8. So you just go back there and you'd be like, okay, well, now I know where that's located. I'll change the position to match where I saw it. And you would do this in your cabinet. You won't do it on desktop because the position doesn't make sense from this point of view here that, you know, I'm playing. Like, you know, it doesn't make really sense to do it here. You'll do it in your cabinet or in a landscape rotated view. So yeah, that's it. You play, you listen for the number, you change the 3D position, you replace the sound file with something that's more appropriate. If there isn't any in here that you find that, like, I included a bunch, you know, but there might be unique ones or special ones you'll want to use, you can use that and save those in there as well. And then when you're all done, you can upload the PuP-Pack to the websites, and then we'll include that into the a full complete package of all updated PuP-Packs for everyone to use. But yeah, and another thing you can also do is actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to quit DOFLinx for a second here, and well, actually no, I don't need to do that, but basically you can turn on the physics sounds in the game, and I guess I'll do that. Alright, so we're back to the game now. See, the sounds are gone now, right? So what you can do is you can go and you can record gameplay, video gameplay, or just audio if you want. You can turn off everything except for the physics volume. So then what you could do is you could just play the game and record all the sounds, and then you can edit that on your own with Audacity or whatever else, and then get the actual game sounds to use in 3D surround sound feedback. So you can just keep playing, and then you'll hear the different things going on, and you can add ball rolling sounds if you want with certain triggers, like the ones we heard going on the ramps or certain other locations. You can use ball rolling sounds for that stuff, guys. So yeah, that's the basics of it. So it's really up to you guys how you guys want to do this. If you want to use the default ones, that's fine. If you want to have more that sounds way cooler, then you could get the full all triggers version of each PuP-Pack, and then just copy them over one at a time, edit them, and then add the sounds in 3D position, and you're good to go. And then share it with the community. And that's it, guys. I know it's a bit long, but it's a lot to cover. So I hope that helps out with understanding somewhat more about surround sound feedback and how this is going to work with FX3. And for Future Pinball, well, I'll probably be the only one doing that anyway. So any table that features that, it's already going to be set up and done ahead of time anyway. So yeah, keep an eye out for these coming out very soon. And my Aliens FX3 PuP-Pack with the cool videos and everything, I'm already going to have surround sound feedback built into that one. So you won't have to go changing positions for that PuP-Pack. But if you want just a normal audio one, then that's how you can do that as well. So that's it, guys. I know that's a lot to take in, but yep. Keep an eye out for the awesomeness of surround sound feedback, and I guess I'll see you in the next video.